you.
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
I'm good. Oh, wait, my camera's like flickering. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely really nervous.
Okay.
But I'm also excited at the same time because I've really never spoken to like someone who is qualified ever. You know, so that's cool.
Okay. Well, so help me understand what you're nervous about.
Well, I don't know, man. A lot of things.
Sure.
Just more so like. I know like these type of situations will definitely make me vulnerable, all right? And it's like being vulnerable is kind of scary, you know?
Absolutely, dude. Being vulnerable is terrifying.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you say these kinds of situations, what is that? What help me understand?
I don't know,
that.
just talking to someone like truthfully, rather than it just being like some, you know, like most of the time I stream, it's more of just like it's a show, you know? It's like we're just having fun, content, whatever. But this is like a more real setting, if that makes sense. Even though there is still
Sure.
Twitch chat spamming, you know, kappas and stuff. So yeah, I'm allowed to swear as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, like if you don't want me to, if you want, I'm just asking you like how you want the setting to be. You know, am I allowed to like be I'm very I like to swear, so I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
I think if you want to swear, that's okay, man.
Okay, cool. Fuck. All right, we're good.
All right. So, can you? You said you haven't talked to someone who is like you've never spoken to a professional about your feelings. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I've never really spoken to anyone, man. I've spoken to like friends and stuff. Obviously, like I have friends that know me pretty well, but I definitely have never spoken to a professional before. And that's not true. One time I did tried to speak to a psychologist. Like 2 years ago, but I remember they were having a very hard time relating to anything I was really saying. I was trying to like help them understand like my life and like what's like bothering me and like my job and Twitch chat and all this and like getting backlash and hate and all these things, and they can't like. It's almost like when you get like a boomer therapist, they don't quite understand any of those like dynamics, right? So they pretty much just say, hey, yo, take this pill, you'll be good, you know. So that's like,
is that what the psychologist said?
Well, mostly everyone I've gone to has tried to put me on some type of like drug, yeah, like whether it be SSRIs or for depression, anxiety, just like random shit, like whatever.
Are you depressed or anxious?
Well, I've definitely had my run-ins with anxiety and depression, definitely 100%. I used to be very, very anxious, but recently it's been better. It's definitely been better recently.
Okay, what's been better recently? What's changed?
Well, I don't know. I moved to Austin like 8 months ago. Wait, is my camera flickering for you, or is that just my side?
It looks good to me, man.
Okay, that's just my side. Okay, so I moved to Austin 8 months ago, right? I was like doing this. I did this whole streamer house with a bunch of streamers. There was like a lot of girls. We had like a big mansion or whatever, and we were all streaming. Everything was going good. I don't know. It's like when I'm streaming and like when I'm like popping off on Twitch, it almost feels as though my problems, like it's like I'm distracting myself from my own mind and I'm just like grinding, if that makes sense. But then as soon as I ditch and the camera's off and I'm just Mitch and whatever David in the mirror, then I have to like truly see myself for who I am, and it's like I have a lot of baggage inside that just like sits there, you know. And like
sure,
I haven't really found a good way of releasing those things, even though I've been looking for those releases like for a long time now, you know. I took like a year off Twitch like 2 years ago to just kind of try and find myself. And all I really found was a bunch of pain, and I was just like super fucked up. And I kept trying all these like weird diets. Like I was like the skinniest. Like I lost so much weight, and I was just trying all this crazy shit to see how if I could like fix my mind or whatever. And it's just like I don't know. I feel like. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean it sounds like you've got a lot to say, man. Keep going.
Oh, trust me, man. Yeah, there is there's a lot to talk about.
Help me understand
so much.
So help me understand when the camera's off and you look in the mirror and you see this guy. David is your name? That's you?
Yeah. My name's yeah. My birth name is David. Yeah.
Okay. So when you see David, tell me what you see in the mirror.
Well, you know, I just see a man who's been literally like trying so hard to just like play this like Twitch like weird circus game for like 10 years. You know, I've been doing this forever, right? Like I've been on Twitch before it was like a YouTube clout chasing reacting shithole that it is today. You know, I feel like Twitch like 7 years ago was actually just gamers chilling, and it was way different now than this like clout chasing boomer or whatever or Zoomer fucking platform that it's become. And not only that, not only the Zoomers infiltrating, it's also gotten a lot more strict, right? Since Amazon and all that bought it out, blah blah blah. Like, you know, it was kind of like the Wild West back in the day. You could just like do your thing and like that was it, you know. And it's changed a lot. So,
So tell me what you see when you look in the mirror.
when I look in the mirror, I see a broken human being that has been living a persona for 10 years, and to like I've always been real and tried to be real with my viewers, but that also like I think opens me up to a lot of scrutiny. And truthfully, like I think that I'm very fucking broken of a human, but I don't really like to show. Well, I do show that part of me, but nobody really wants to listen to that, right? Like nobody wants to go like listen to somebody
What
bitching about their broken
what
self,
about
you know?
what about you is broken?
Pretty much everything. My identity, like I've everything I've done has been a fucking lie, man. Like that's how I view it anyway, right? Like cool. I was famous. I was making hella money. Like whatever, right? Like I had some hot girls. Like I did all the things that you would think would make you feel like complete or whatever the fuck. But truly, I felt so dead inside, and like I still like I don't know. Like
Good.
I just still feel that way. But I know that like I can't really let that person win. Like I kind of just have to keep going on with the circus, you know?
Wait, hold on. But how's that strategy working for you so far?
You know, I really don't know. I really don't know, man.
Sounds like
I honestly don't
it
know.
sounds like grinding is not working for you.
But like I have no other option, you know? Like if I don't make Twitch
What?
work, like I'm truly screwed. So
No. Yeah, man. So
like,
so I don't think I don't think you have to quit Twitch. I'm just saying that it sounds like you're not taking care of yourself. So it sounds like you're thinking in terms of black and white. Like either you quit Twitch and then that means that like the other part of you wins, or you keep doing what you're doing. Like it seems like very like black and white to me.
yeah, that's how I am. I'm kind of like all or nothing, you know?
Yeah.
I've
So
always been that way.
what do you think about that?
I don't know. I think that that's just like hardwired in me. Like I'm either in or I'm out, you know? Like I can't do this like what do you call it when you're like good at everything or like you're good at balance. I'm terrible at that. I'm pretty much just like in one thing and that's all I think about and I just grind that forever, or I'm out and I'm doing something else, right? Like balance
Yeah.
thing I suck at. Like keeping a schedule, maintaining
if you suck at something, what does that mean for you? Like does that is you're just you are this way, you're hardwired, it's not possible to change, or is it like help me understand?
well, it could be possible to change. I've definitely tried. I swear
It sounds like you've
something-
tried a lot.
Oh, I've tried so hard, so fucking hard, man. Like I
Yeah,
swear that
I
there's
see
something
that.
wrong with me. I have like an action deficit disorder where like I cannot act on the things that I understand. Because like a lot of people think that I'm just like stupid, but like I kind of understand most social dynamics and like the things I need to do, I understand them. It's very hard for me to act on those things. And like
Beautiful.
I don't know. No matter
Yeah.
how hard I want to do it, I just have trouble doing it, you know? And
Yeah,
then I
so-
beat myself up over it so hard. So it's
Okay,
like,
buddy. Now we're getting somewhere, okay? So, if you want to do something and you're unable to do it, how the fuck does that work?
I don't know. You tell me. I have no idea.
Like, what do you think, man? Like, so if I have an intention, if I'm a human being and I have an intention, what are the things that influence my behavior, right? So if I want to do something, like let's say I want to get out of bed in the morning, what are the things that influence whether I get out of bed? Because what happens is sometimes it sounds like your behaviors are not aligned with your intentions.
That is very true, yes. And recently I've tried to like I have this thing where like one day I'll wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fix it all, right? And then I'll like go hard for a month and I'll really like be normal, like I'll be really making progress toward my life for like 1 month. And then something happens and I'm just off. And it just I lose all progress.
That is a terrible strategy, my friend. So let me, because I think what you're doing is, so I think you're just using vast reserves of willpower to overcome things within you, and then you just run out of steam.
Oh yeah, no, the burnout is real, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, so like burnout is not a sustainable way to change your life, right? Like
Okay.
you're overcoming stuff in order to try to you're using a lot of this like language like grind, right? Like so
yeah, well, grinding to me is just like streaming every day and trying to like, you know, be a good streamer, you know?
Yeah. So you just use like vast amounts of just willpower and raw energy to overcome whatever kind of like tornado of shit is going on inside you.
Oh yeah. I like to just push all of that away and just focus on the goal, you know?
Yeah, so I don't think that that's like... I think that strategy can be very successful, but I think it's going to leave you tortured and broken.
Well, I've been that way my whole life, so I really don't know what it's like to be whole and not broken. Like,
Yep.
Truthfully, like, and I'm not saying that to like, boohoo me, but like I have had a weird life. Like I've had a great life, but also a weird life.
Tell me about your life.
Where do you want me to start?
I don't know.
Well, there's a lot. There's truly a lot. Like there's a lot of things that we could talk about, man. Like, I don't know if you know the history of like Twitch.
Tell me about
like,
you.
About me and my Twitch stuff, or like me, just me.
Just tell me about you. You.
Okay, well, I'm a dude. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 27 years old now, so I'm getting to the late bloomer stages. I have like a weird family situation, very strange family situation. My mother was diagnosed with brain cancer when I was like 16, and she had like a stroke and multiple surgeries, and she's like paralyzed on her left side, and it's done.
Sounds scary.
It's been the worst thing ever, because my mom was truly like the one person that actually loved me for like who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I truly loved my mom unconditionally, and I pretty much lost her like 8 years ago. Like, lost her mentally. She's still doing great and fighting cancer, but she lost a huge piece of herself because they had to remove like I think it was like 20% of her frontal cortex to keep her alive. So she lost like a lot of her personality and a lot, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like an Alzheimer's thing. Like, don't remember, and
she's
like
just
stuff
not.
like that.
She's not all there anymore.
All there, yeah, all there anymore. Yeah, and I've had to watch her deteriorate over the last like 8 years or so.
What does that do to someone?
Oh, it's killed me, honestly, because I've had nowhere to turn. Like, my father has always been kind of like a hard ass. Like, my dad's like a very successful like lawyer, businessman, whatever. Like, he's just been that kind of guy. Like, he sent me to private school my whole life. Like, I've been spoiled in that regard, like money and whatever. Like, I come from a pretty wealthy family. But my dad never gave me like he never filled the shoes of my mom, if that makes sense.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. He never did. And I never felt like me and my dad have never like hugged or said I love you or any of that. Like, there's none of that. Like, I don't feel like I have that relationship with my father. And I don't feel like I've ever had that relationship with my father. And there's actually some really deep things that I could get into about like there's a lot of fucked up things that have gone on in my family, but honestly, I don't want to like air that on the internet. If you wanted to like talk like privately about that, that's chill.
Yeah, just talk about whatever you're comfortable with, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm normally comfortable with telling. I'm normally comfortable with like talking openly. I just don't want to like say some, you know what I mean? But,
sure.
But yeah, so that's pretty much my family situation. I have a brother as well. I have a brother. Yeah, I do have a brother. He's yeah, he has Asperger's syndrome. He's like pretty autistic, and he was also born with a face deformation. Like his jaw never grew properly, so it grew like very crooked. And he used to get like made fun of in school, and like
older or younger.
He's an older brother. Yeah. And he's very different. You know, like, I mean, you've met people with autism, right? Like they have a lot of trouble socially. And my brother's very smart, honestly. Like, he's very good at art. He used to kick my ass in Halo back in the day. Like straight, he was just amazing at everything he did. Like, and it just sucks that when my mom got sick, he never really got that support anymore. And he kind of went down the deep end, and he now lives in like assisted living. And I feel really bad for him, man. Like, I really do. I feel really bad for him. The last time I saw him, I think he's doing okay. But let's just say if I was actually good enough to get my shit together and I didn't really lose everything that I had going for me, I probably would have taken care of him and maybe my mom as well, which is a lot of burden for me. But I felt like that was the right play. And I truly regret that I fucked up this whole Twitch thing, because I really could have been in a position to help my family. And I feel like I let that. I just fucked up, man, for my own selfish reasons, because I wanted to, whatever, fuck around and be an idiot,
No, I don't. What does that mean?
It means that I got so carried away in this shit when I could have just looked at it as a means to help my family. Instead, I looked at it as a means to feed my own ego and, date hot girls and, whatever, spend a lot of money on shit I don't need, and you know what I mean, like that kind of stuff. Like meet a bunch of fake friends that tell me I'm cool, and really they don't give a fuck, and they just whatever they wanted was just not.
So you
my
blame
best
yourself
interest.
for that?
Oh, 100%. I blame myself for that. I'm stupid. It's not that I'm even stupid. It's that I was being selfish, and I always knew the right play, and it's just it's easier said than done, you know.
Yeah. So help me understand that. I'm a little bit confused. If it's easier said than done, then why so much blame?
Because I could have done it, man. You know.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think I could have done it?
Yeah.
Because I could have.
What? But
I know I could have. I could have actually
how do you
made
know
Twitch
that?
a positive thing for me and helped my family, and been a support. I could have done that.
But why do you think that?
I just think I could have done it had I not.
I understand you think you could have done it. That much is clear to me. What I'm understanding is, where did you get the idea that you could have done that?
I don't know. I guess when I thought about it long enough, I realized I was chasing the wrong things, and maybe I couldn't have done it. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I needed to go through the shit that I went through or something.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, because it sounds like you spent some time reflecting and thinking about the choices you made.
Yeah. Like I said, a year ago, I quit. I learned a lot a year ago. Like I said, I stopped streaming, and I actually moved in with my mom for a while, and I was just like there taking care of her, and I was living a very slow life for a while. Like I pretty much took a step back from all of Twitch, all of that for a long time, and I was like I was meditating every day. I was trying all these new diets. I was doing whatever I could to fix my broken self, like straight up. I was trying everything, you name it. I was on the internet constantly, like self-improvement, blah blah blah, like meditation, exercise, sleep schedule, this that, eat these vegetables, you'll be good. Eat this fucking multivitamin, you'll be good, right? And I just realized that like there's so much deep down pain inside of myself that to get to that sense of like enlightenment and feeling light and free, it's going to take years and years and years of work, in my opinion, which I really don't have right now, because quite frankly, like I put myself in a position where I am pretty much screwed unless I continue to grind. Like, I
Why
recently.
do you think it's going to take years and years and years for you to be so you can be fixed? Let's start there.
I can be fixed, but what I would need is a stress-free environment where I can actually work on myself, right?
That's one way to do it, but I think that too is, once again, your black and white thinking, right? So you think that fixing yourself is a full-time job that you can't do anything else during. Either you're grinding or you're fixing yourself.
Yeah.
What do you think
that's
about that?
true. I think that I wish I could balance things, man. I really do.
Yeah, so if someone doesn't know how to balance things, what do we do for them? Like, so let's say that I'm working with a 15-year-old kid who has trouble balancing playing games and like studying.
Mm-hmm. Tell them to stop playing games, right?
Do you think that works?
Well, I mean, if they're not going to be the next ninja, they should probably quit anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's do you think that's an effective way to teach them?
I mean, I would tell my kid, like, if they're going to like try to be as good as they possibly can be at the game and make a career out of it, fuck it, keep playing. But if you're just playing to like jerk off, then like stop. Like that's how I would make it to my kid.
I completely that makes a lot of sense to me, because that is exactly the way that you approach life, right? So it's like black and white. It's either or. It's like either you be the next ninja or you fucking stop. There's no middle ground.
Yeah. Well, not even the next ninja. I mean, shit, you could even. I'd be cool with my son being a shroud. Like, I mean, anything. I'm just messing around. But yeah. Like I think black and white like that. Yeah, like I wouldn't. It's just, it's like, if you're not gonna make something of it, why waste your time doing it? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good question. Why do something if you're not going to be the best?
Yeah, and a lot of people do.
No, I'm actually asking you.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, like, why do something if you don't want to be? I guess for fun, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. I'm not saying everything has to be. I'm just saying people should have their like main focus, and they should really focus on that, and that should be what they love doing, right? So, like, if you love video games, I truly think that you should strive to be the best at what you love and try and make something out of it, so you don't have to do the other shitty things in life, and you can actually work on your passion, and someday that might actually make you you can make a career out of it, right? Like I think that's a good plan. Like doing what you love and trying to make a career out of it. That's why I would tell my son, like, if he wants to play games, then play, but be better than everyone else, you know?
Okay, so I'm a little bit confused. Like, so if I have, so I am careful about how my kids spend time in front of a screen, and so what I try to teach them is some degree of restraint. So I don't tell them that they have to, I tell them that you have to do the things that you have to do, and then you can also spend some time doing fun stuff, but that it's not like an either or, that you can actually do both. What do you think about that? Like, what if like your 15-year-old comes home and then studies for a couple of hours and does their homework, and between 6 and 8 p.m. they get to like play whatever they want to, and then after bed, if they've been a good kid, they get to play for a couple more hours. What do you think about that?
I mean, if they're 15, they're growing up, they're living life, they're playing with their friends. I think that's fine, right? But like, I think as people get older, they need to really zone in on what they want to do, like rather than like dicking around and like doing things for fun. I feel like that kind of ends at some point. It definitely did for me, like I used to skateboard and like do all these things for fun or whatever, but I knew that they weren't leading anywhere, right? Like I used to play fucking League for fun, and I would play in Silver fucking 2, and it's just like it was never going to get me anywhere. I'm never going to be an LCS League player. Nobody's ever going to watch my stream when I play League, right? So like why the fuck am I wasting my time?
Why do you have to be somewhere? Why do you have to be somewhere? So like
I don't know. Because like for some reason it's something deep inside of me just like earns for this like acceptance and like just doing something and like making something of myself, right? Like I don't know, something deep inside of me feels as though I failed and like I have to do something more,
Yeah, so let's just pause for a second. Now we're getting somewhere, right? So understand that a lot of your worldview is being informed by this thing. Doesn't mean it's fucking logical, doesn't mean it's rational. You have a sense that you need to accomplish something. And the older you get, the greater that sense grows. The more behind you feel, the more you need to make up for lost time. Right? The less time you have to take care of yourself, and the harder you need to grind, because something within you says that Mitch is not good enough.
Yeah. Something definitely says that inside of myself, for sure.
Have you ever been able to satisfy it?
No. Well, actually, for like maybe like 1 or 2 weeks at a time, like let's say I had some crazy stream where I had like 20,000 viewers and made a lot of money or whatever. I feel like if I could keep that going, and like I could like make like a living for myself.
Mitch, pause for a second, okay? I know what you're gonna say. So just think about this, okay? So you have something within you that even if you knock it out of the park for a week or two and you make a ton of money and everyone really loves it, that just sets a whole new bar. You can't be satisfied with it. You feel satisfied for like 1 week, and then the hunger returns.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So what do you think about living a life that is structured around this hunger inside you that you've told me has never really been satisfied? Like,
it would be satisfied temporarily, but then it all goes back to the same shit. And I truly think that the reason it's not satisfied is not because I never got like where I wanted to get. It's because I never continued. Like, it's almost like this, right? Like I would get to where I want to be, and then I would quit. And then I would get to where I want to be, and then I would quit. And then I get to where I want to be, and then I quit. I never consistently stayed there. Like I've had so many opportunities had I just stayed consistent to be, one of the biggest streamers on the platform like years ago, like in 2014 and shit. And I would just like take it for granted. And I would just play League with my stoner friend all day, and I would just say, well, like, fuck it. Like, I don't know. Like, I just never had the willpower to stay consistent,
Yeah, that's because willpower is not how people are consistent. Willpower is not how people are consistent. So I think you're adopting a losing strategy. Because so I want you to try to do something, Mitch. This is going to be hard, okay? I want you to try to I want you to try to look at your thoughts the way that I see them. So you have a really good reason to believe all the things that you believe. They're very logical, but I want you to try to look at them from the outside. Okay? So I am hearing that you have something within you that feels like you're not good enough, and that is what really motivates you to success. It motivates you to grind, right?
Yes. But can I elaborate a bit?
Yeah, sure.
I think that why I don't feel good enough is because I've let so many opportunities go. You know what I mean? It's the fact that I could be somewhere if I just wasn't so goddamn stupid. That's what bothers me the most. It's not that it's not that I'm like, oh, I need to be successful. It's that I had the opportunity and I fucked it up 10 times in a row. It bothers me so much.
Yeah, so why do people fuck up good things?
I don't know. Why did I fuck it up? Because I thought it would be there forever. I thought I was good, you know. I thought
So
I didn't see it at the time.
What do you think about someone who blames themselves for something that they don't understand?
They're lost.
Sure. Do you think they're deserving of blame if they don't understand what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I think everyone can. It depends on the situation, obviously, but I think you can get to a place where you understand, right? Like just saying I don't understand is like almost playing like dumb, right?
Sure, but do you understand?
At this point, I do understand the mistakes I made in the past. Yeah, I do.
I don't think you do. I don't think you understand yourself at all, because you're telling me that you have opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and you squander it and squander it and squander it.
Yes.
And you don't seem like a stupid person to me. So I think that there are large tectonic forces within you that cause you to do things that you beat yourself up for, but you don't understand why the fuck how you work. Like it seems to me like
true. I've always noticed that. I've always had that. Yeah, that's true.
You blame yourself for not understanding. It's like you're, you don't understand why David isn't functioning properly, but you sure as hell will blame yourself for it, even though you don't understand. Yeah. So it's like I mean, what if you but that's dumb. I don't think you can blame yourself. Like you can blame yourself if you understand what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's dumb to blame yourself if you don't understand. It's like if this is going to sound kind of completely crazy, but so kids blame themselves for stupid shit all the time. And it's not their fault. Like they'll blame themselves for like really crazy things, like their parents getting cancer. Somehow kids will they don't understand how things work, but that doesn't stop them from blaming themselves. Does that make sense to you?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. See, that was an analogy I understood. I got, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I don't know how I can relate that to myself. Like I'm not, I can relate it a tad to myself, but I truly think that my problems were created by me, not by cancer or something out of my control,
Yeah, so if you can control them, why aren't you?
Well, I'm working on taking steps to doing that. I think I wasn't self-aware enough to.
So why don't you give yourself any slack for that? That's what I don't understand. Like I see a
I
guy
just don't. I don't know. I just don't.
So that's got to change, my friend.
And also, it doesn't help that Twitch chat reminds me every fucking day. You know what I mean? Like Twitch chat is very, they are. I mean, they're very like whatever, and they're gonna remind me of all my fuck ups. So like, I have to be aware of them. I have to like soak in. But
I don't think you understand what your fuck ups really are, because I think all you see
I could tell you all of them. Trust me.
No.
I'm
so
sure Twitch chat could too.
I'm sure that you can point to lots of things externally about your life that you think you made mistakes about, but I don't think you're appreciating that that a human being has all kinds of forces within them that cause them to do things that they don't understand. Like when I see someone who screws up time and time and time again, I don't think that the person is deficient, because generally speaking, I think most human beings are like not just dumb and crappy at life. I think that there are real psychological, spiritual, whatever you want to call it. There are forces within you that shape your behavior, which most people are ignorant to.
I agree with that 100%. It's almost like there's like two people or something, right? There's like you, and then there's that like drive that like makes you, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
so I think you're trying to live life like you're trying to drive a car, but you're blind. You're like driving blind, and you're like,
how do I see?
Perfect. That's the question.
I would like to see.
So it starts with this. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you so actually, let me just think for a second. How can I just answer it for you? Let's start with this. How long have you felt like you're a failure?
Ever since probably like 2016. That's when it got really bad.
That's when it got really bad. Tell me when it started.
It started around that time, honestly. Before all of that shit, I really didn't even think about life the way I think about it now. Like,
how did you think about life?
I used to just like wake up, play World of Warcraft, shit on everyone, and go to bed. And I was completely content with that life. I loved every second of it, and I truly didn't think the way I think now. I really didn't have any. I didn't think I was a failure if I lost the game. I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna shit on them tomorrow, whatever. You know, like I never had that attitude of like I fucked up everything. You know, that only really started after like Twitch.
How
And
old were
like
you when
some
you
of
were
the
playing World of Warcraft like that?
Well, I played from like 18 to like 23, I'd say, like pretty religiously, and that's also how I became like a streamer on Twitch.
Can you tell me a little bit about what middle school was like for you?
Oh, middle school was amazing, man. I literally loved middle school. Middle school is fucking great, dude. I have so many stories I probably can't say here, but yeah, like let's just say I was pretty cool in middle school, and I had a very good social life. I wasn't the best in school, but like I had just started, experimenting with like women. My penis started working, etc., and like it was nice.
Okay, so you had fun and you didn't think you were a failure and you felt good about yourself?
Yes. I felt great about myself in middle school, but this was also when my mom was still good,
Yeah. So tell me about high
Yeah.
school.
High school was okay. So my freshman year, I was kind of like transitioning. I actually went to an all guys high school. It was like a private school. I had to wear like a tie every day. It was a very strict school, right? And that was different than what I was used to. So I had like a uniform and all dudes and blah blah blah. And my dad really wanted me to succeed. Like my dad's always been giving me this like hard ass attitude, like you have to make something of yourself, like like. So my freshman year, I was really focused, and I would try my best to like be on time, do all my schoolwork. I actually did pretty well my freshman and sophomore year, and then my sophomore year. I think he was happy. Yeah, I really think that was the time in my life where my dad was probably the most like proud of me. Yeah, I was playing sports and I mean, it felt as though I was living to please my father. Like it didn't. It's not. It's not that I didn't particularly enjoy doing those things. Like I didn't.
Did it feel like a grind?
Yeah, it did. It felt like every day. Like the school I went to was hard, man. Like
Sure.
it was a difficult school, and my first 2 years I was doing very very well, and then my mother got sick my sophomore year, or like the end of my sophomore year.
Can we just pause for a second? But I just want to understand what was going on within you during your freshman and sophomore years. So it sounds like you were working really hard. You were also delaying a lot of gratification.
Yes.
You were being very conscientious and diligent.
Yes.
You were grinding.
Yeah, grinding. Yep.
What happened to the fun middle school kid?
I had to grow. Like my dad made me know. Like I remember the summer going into high school. My dad told me like shit's gonna be different. You need to focus. Like you have to make something. You have to do this. Like I want you to go to a good college. Like you need to focus. This is a very important time in your life. And my dad instilled that in me like super heavily. In that summer,
what did he instill?
Just the fact that I had to stop, because in middle school, I'm gonna be honest, my grades were trash. Like I was having a good time.
Sure.
And I didn't really care about school. I was kind of just like doing my thing and whatever, making friends, having a good time. And then my dad told me that's not gonna fly anymore. Like you can't keep doing that. Like you have to buckle down.
When he said that to you, do you remember how you felt?
I felt as though I had to. I really accepted it. I felt as though I had to change. I remember thinking about it.
Did you feel good about yourself?
Honestly, it didn't really matter to me anyway. Like I didn't feel any type of way. I was more of just like I liked doing. I would have rather have jerked off and dicked around, and trust me, later on in high school I started doing that. But like,
sure.
Yeah, like it didn't. I was just happy that I was making my dad proud. That did make me feel good.
Yeah. So you enjoyed making him proud. You also did it feel like you were kind of getting your like did what he said sort of sink in with you? Like you felt like, okay, I'm kind of a little bit of a fuck up, so maybe I do need to get my shit in gear.
Yeah. I definitely thought that way. Yeah. Like I went through a rough phase from when I switched. I switched from like a public school to private school in middle school, and I remember it was a rough transition for me because I was like moving away from all my other friends, blah blah blah. Like I used to I used to give my mom hell, man. Like I would just go to school and I wouldn't even put my clothes on because I told him I wasn't gonna go there. So I would literally get in the car naked and just I'm not going. I'm not going. I swear I'm not going. Shit, man, that makes me miss my mom so fucking much.
Yeah,
God
what did
damn.
she do?
She was just so fucking loving, man. I don't know. She would just try. She was such a pushover, dude. Like, you know, she was such a pushover, man. She anything I wanted, she gave me it to me. Anything. And then my dad was the opposite, right? Like, but my mom was just like she would like almost like sneakily like try and like give me my way without telling her, don't tell your father. You know what I mean?
You guys
Shit,
were
man.
you guys were like thick as thieves.
Yes, yes, yes. My mom to this day is the only person I ever trusted and I ever loved. I will stand by that. I've never felt the same connection with anyone ever. And I honestly don't think I'll ever feel that way again with anyone. I've had major trust issues since all of that. Like major trust issues with
What is
people.
that? Since all of what?
Since I think it's since I lost my mom, I just went off the deep end, man. Like since I lost like it's not that she's gone, it's just that I lost her like just like her spunk, everything about her, man, is just fuck. I just miss it. I miss it, man. I wish I could have one more conversation with her and just be like, listen, mom, I love you, and I need you to understand. Like, yeah, I just wish I could have that. That would be so nice, but obviously it's not gonna happen.
What would you say to her?
I would just tell her how good of a parent she was, and it's not her fault. You know, like anything that happened is not her fault, and that she really, really was. She really still is to this day the only reason that I actually have like any ounce of like humanity left, because I swear I've become like a fucking robot, you know? Like I swear to God, dude, with all the shit with Twitch and everything, I swear to God I've become a fucking robot, man.
Sounds like she's
And
keeping you alive.
yeah, definitely, for sure. I didn't want to put it that way because you know, whatever, but that's definitely true. I've definitely had my moments of feeling that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't you say that to her?
Honestly, when I see her nowadays, I just can't. It's so hard for me to deal with. Like, she's in a wheelchair and it's just so fucking hard. I can't explain it, man. I break down every time I see her, dude. Like, I went back east actually a couple months ago, and you know, my life's been pretty rough the last 4 months or so. I actually lost my partnership with Twitch. I don't know if you knew about all this, but I lost my partnership with Twitch like 4 months ago.
I'm a boomer.
And okay, well, yeah, I lost my partnership with Twitch 4 months ago, and pretty much a lot of my income has been taken away from me, which kind of sucks. It actually really fucking sucks. No, it's my fault. I made a huge mistake. I fucked up, but yeah, I've definitely felt the repercussions of that. I mean, shit. Like I when I first got, I don't know where I'm kind of going all over the place. If that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I don't mean to like get off topic or
That's
anything.
okay.
I just
I'll keep you on topic.
But yeah,
if
like
that's okay.
yeah,
Just
what's
keep
that?
talking. Is it okay if I interrupt and direct you from time to time?
Oh yeah, there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just asking you if you, because
Yeah.
I'll go off on tangents a lot.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of ground to make for you know, for us. Yeah. No cap of pride.
Why
There's
do you think that there's a lot of ground to cover?
I just think there is. There's a lot. There's really is a lot. My life has been very eventful, full of like ups and downs and craziness, right? So there's definitely a lot for sure. Yeah.
How much of what do you think we've covered so far? Do you think we've covered a lot?
I think we've covered about, yeah, I'd say we covered a good amount for sure. Yeah, definitely. But a lot of the things, there's still a lot we haven't covered as well, but
Sure.
there's definitely, it's definitely good.
Can you tell me how you feel when you see your mom?
Yeah, I feel helpless. I feel I can't help her, and it eats away at me inside. And I would honestly rather just avoid it. Like I'll go and see her, but I just put up this like mental wall where I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna feel anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very black and white.
Yeah, I'll put up this wall where I'm just like, whatever you need, mom, I got you. You need food, I'll get it for you. You need this, I'll get it for you. Like I'll do anything for her. You know what I mean?
What's behind the wall?
Behind the wall, I would just break down constantly, man. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. When I see her in the state that she's in, it breaks my fucking heart to the point where I just can't function, man. Like I just can't. Like I break down. I was freaking out. Like I remember, you know, recently I was there and I was just like, it was just every day. I was just crying and lashing out and just unstable. You know what I mean?
Sure. So what do you think happens to all those feelings when you're not with her?
I try and suppress all of them and just focus on my job.
Yeah. And how do you think that they continue to like, so like, let's say that someone has, you know, let's talk about someone else for a second. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you to step outside of your shoes. Like, this is going to be hard for you, but I want you to try. Okay. So let's say that there's someone who has, you know, all these emotions that cause them to like lash out at people and break down crying and stuff like that. And then, you know, those emotions kind of get triggered or come out in a particular situation. And then once they leave that situation, they're kind of like, they appear to be functioning normally. And
Yeah,
do you think that that person would be functioning normally?
I think that they can put on the mask that they're functioning normally, even though they might be very much so in pain inside, but that's kind of life,
And
right?
how do you think that that affects what they try to, like, do you think that that person will be very successful?
I think some types of people in those situations could be, and others the weight's too much and they crack, right? I think that's
Yeah. What does that look like?
what does
Cracking look like? Like, how would you know when someone's
cracking is just like throwing in the towel and just saying fuck it and giving into your emotions, you know? That's cracking. Cracking is what I've done the last 4 months, man. Like, that's cracking. You know, I got banned on Twitch. I lost my partnership. I fucked up. I literally became like a fucking gambling addict for a while. Like, I had a lot of money saved up, and I pretty much lost like every dollar gambling when I went back east. Like, there's a lot of casinos where I'm from in Maryland, and like I've always had a problem with like poker and like blackjack and stuff like that. And I went back home and I was at the casino 16 hours a day. I don't know why. I just didn't want to deal with my home life because I knew I had to go back home and deal with it. And like I was like, fuck it, like maybe I'll get lucky gambling and I won't have to stream or something. Like, something stupid and irrational came inside of me. But recently I actually put myself in a super financial hole that I've never been in my life. Like, you know, I've never been in this situation, and I did this to myself recently, 100%. Like, I fucked up.
Yeah, so that's not something I entirely agree with. So look, can I help you? Can I share a little bit about what I see and what I think is going on?
Oh yeah, sure.
So like I don't think this really happens anymore, but you know, like WoW used to have like a resurrection debuff.
Yes.
And like when you had the res debuff, like do you remember like what happened to your stats and stuff?
Yeah, they got reduced by a lot.
Like a shit ton, right?
Like 90%, yeah, 90%. Yeah.
And so what happens if you like try to do like a raid and you have the res debuff?
You feed and you lose.
Okay. So what I think is going on with you, Mitch, is that you are playing the game of life and you're losing catastrophically over and over and over again, and you basically have a res debuff that you're not aware of.
Oh. That's a good analogy.
What do you think about that?
I think I gotta wait 10 minutes and queue up again.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? So 10 minutes is not how you actually get rid of the res debuff in real life. You actually have to get rid of that debuff. And I think so let me tell you what I'm hearing, right? So I hear a guy who's pretty intelligent and pretty driven, and when they put their mind to something, they can really accomplish a lot. And I also hear that you have this wall within you behind which is all kinds of just bizarre, abject feelings of loss, grief, loneliness, brokenness, that you're a failure. And somehow you're actually functioning in life with all that shit behind the wall. And then
that's fair.
And then you're confused when like you don't understand why when you try to put your mind to something, it doesn't happen properly. And it's like, yeah, because you have this fucking res debuff on you. And I just don't, I think you grossly like underestimate what you're capable of, not because you're not, and this is the thing about the res debuff, it's not like your stats are actually bad, right? Like your stats are good, you're high level, you have good gear, all of it, like when you look at someone who's got a res debuff and you look at their character sheet, everything looks normal. And so that person, if I just took like a screenshot of someone's like gear and their level and their like hotkeys and stuff like that, and I looked at that WoW character, I said, okay, this person should be able to down this raid boss. There's just one tiny little icon, right? Because that's what the res debuff looks like. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny icon, but boy, is it worth a lot. And you don't see it on the character sheet. And I think you're going through life and you're blaming yourself because you've got this res debuff that's like off in the corner of your screen, and you look at yourself and you say, oh, I have all this gear, I'm max level, I have this, I'm capable of this. And then sometimes, heroically, the fucking crazy thing is that sometimes you actually down the raid boss with the fucking res debuff. Sometimes you're able to do it.
Oh man.
For like a week or a month at a time.
I can really relate to what you're saying. This analogy is, I totally get what you're saying.
Right? Because you feel that res debuff. It's there within you. The sense of you being fucking broken, what do you think that is? That's the res debuff. Yeah. And how on earth do you think you're going to be successful when that shit is eating you alive from the inside?
It's definitely a lot harder.
Yeah. It's like, it's amazing that you've done what you've done. I think it's amazing. People will think you're a fucking hacker. If you're like downing bosses with a res debuff, they're like, this guy's a fucking hacker.
That's actually, that's a great analogy, man. It helps me relate to, I get what you're saying.
What am I saying?
You're saying that I'm pretty much living life with fucking balls on my ankles and I'm somehow still doing shit, right?
Yeah, so what do you think, what does that person deserve, right? So if we're going to judge that person, do we judge them and do we say, oh, this person fucking sucks at life, or do we actually respect them?
Well, if you're Twitch chat, you would just
don't worry about Twitch chat.
Okay. If you're a human?
Yeah.
Okay. So Twitch chat's not humans?
Just don't worry about Twitch chat. We're not going to escape.
Okay. No Twitch chat. All right. So sorry. Can you
what do you think that person deserves from us? What should we think about that person?
I mean, they did. I think help. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything that people can do to help, but like if you can help, like when I see people that are as broken as me, I gravitate towards that for some reason. Like it makes me feel like I'm not alone, you know? So like I like to help those type of people in any way that I can. I do like to help people.
Do you try to help yourself?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have in the past. Yeah. Like I said, I took a year off Twitch to try and find myself, and all I found was trash. So I don't know. I've definitely had my moments of trying to help myself, yes, but then I put those on hold and try and help my job or other people or whatever, you know.
I'm happy to hear you say that. I'm also a little bit surprised. I think you treat yourself very differently from other people with res debuffs.
Wait, why is that?
I think you blame yourself. I mean, I think you judge yourself for it. I don't think you treat yourself well.
Yeah, I definitely don't. And I try to like, I try to do like the health stuff. Like I try and eat well, and I try and keep the bare minimum to stay alive.
Very good. So now we get to the crux of it, right? So I'm not saying that you don't try to do things to make your life better. I just don't think you treat yourself well. I think you do a lot of things to try to improve your life. And one may assume that just because you're trying to improve your life, that you feel like compassion towards yourself. But I don't think you do. I think you try to just improve your life because your life has to change. But I don't think you actually treat yourself very kindly.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like myself. I don't like where I'm at. I don't like what I've become. And honestly, if I could do it all over, I wouldn't do what I've done. That's honestly how I feel.
Yeah. So what emotion is that? Do you know?
Like regret and like
absolutely.
Grief.
Yeah. So speaking of grief, I mean, do you feel like you're grieving right now?
I truly think that I'm grieving every day of my life, and
I think you are too, buddy.
And I know how to put a smile on my face, and I know how to be fucking Mitch Jones on Twitch, but when I'm all alone and the cameras are off, it's not good. Yeah. Not good.
So I think, so let me tell you something, Mitch. I think you can get better. So by the way, for some reason, people are calling you the raid boss. Apparently when it comes to like, you're my raid boss.
Yeah. You can't fix me, dude. I'm a hard boss, bro.
No, I mean, if this is a raid boss, Mitch, I think you can get better. I'm more hopeful about you than I am about many people that I talk to. And I think it's just because you've got so it's hard to fix someone who doesn't have a res debuff. Right?
Oh yeah, because they're just lost in their own
Yeah, like if you just fucking suck at WoW and you like don't know how to like push buttons, then I can't help you.
Yeah,
but the people that
suck,
but the thing is, you don't suck. I think what's going on with you is that you have. So let me just take a step back. So if we think about behavior, I'm gonna just say a couple of random things. Okay, so my turn to be kind of tangential and all over the place.
Yeah, no problem.
So, first thing is when we think about behavior, your mind and your brain has a lot of stuff that goes into whether you engage in a behavior.
Yes.
Right? So like if I want to drink this water, for example, like I can have an internal sense of thirst. I can have some like logical part of me that says, oh, I should drink 8 glasses of water and I should stay hydrated. There can also be things like availability. Like, so if the water's right in front of me, I'm much more likely to drink it than if the water was like in the next room. Right? So there are a lot of things that go into behavior. And I think a big thing that goes into behavior that people don't understand is like emotions. So generally speaking, if we want to do something like delay gratification and control our impulses and like all the stuff that we think about as maturity, like, would you describe yourself as immature?
In some ways, yes. Yes, it depends on which aspect. I'd say 90% of aspects, yes, I'm immature. But there's that 10% of me that is very aware and mature.
Yeah. So,
that's what I think.
So I think when I think about people who view themselves as immature, the reason we call it immaturity is because there's a part of your brain called your frontal lobes, which does things like delay gratification and plans tasks over long periods of time and executes them in a consistent manner. So that's like maturity. It's like shit like paying a mortgage. That's your frontal lobes. So when I think about things that interfere with the function of the frontal lobes, suppressed emotion is at the top of the list. So generally speaking, when I work with people whose like frontal lobes are just not working properly, i.e. they're behaving immaturely, like they're just not able to be consistent in life, they can do things, they can use willpower for brief periods of time or even days or weeks at a time to suppress all of their negative emotion. But at some point that negative emotion comes up and actually like starts affecting you. Like you get up one day.
I noticed that firsthand. Yeah, I've noticed that firsthand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just fucking like I used to have a panic disorder, and I swear that was related to this. Like I used to have a very bad anxiety, very very bad.
Yep.
Like I was the biggest hypochondriac you would ever know. Like literally, like I was fucking bad.
And so that anxiety and panic disorder has now started to manifest in different ways.
Yeah.
And the challenge,
that's gone.
Yeah. So
the anxiety for me is like weirdly like just like vanished. Instead, it's more of just like. Yeah, go ahead anyway.
Yeah, so I think that whatever it was that showed up as an anxiety problem for you is now showing up in other ways. The problem is that those ways are subtle and you don't see them, but you fucking blame yourself for them. Right?
Yes,
so like you don't see, like you don't understand why you do certain things, but you sure as hell will beat yourself up for it. But I think the problem is that you've got like, you know, because you're trying to engage in a particular behavior, or you engage in like gambling or something like that, because you've got these suppressed
gambling
emotions.
was my vice, man. Gambling, I swear to God, when I was gambling, all of it goes away and I'm just in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yep. So this is what we've got to do, buddy. So like all this shit is pent up inside you. And I think the reason that you're sucking at life, for lack of a better term, is because of this stuff. I don't think it's because you actually just suck at life. I think this is the res debuff. And I think you can see it. There are times when you notice it, but just think about this for a second, okay? Just think about this. If you like walk into a room and you see your mom and you become overwhelmed with emotion, like where the fuck do you think that goes when you leave the room?
I don't know.
But just think, like, does it just disappear? Is that how we work?
No, it probably just goes somewhere inside of me and some weird muscle and then, something.
Yeah,
the brain or some shit.
And then what it does is it turns in. So when you're in the room with her, it's like not a tiny debuff in the corner of your screen that's affecting all of your stats. It's like front and center. And then when you leave the room, all of that front and center stuff becomes a tiny little debuff in the corner of your screen that reduces your stats by 90%. And then you go on living life. And then you fail willpower check after willpower check because like you're just debuffed like really, really bad.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. I mean, I'm exhausted a lot of the time. Like, just fucking exhausted.
So this is important because now I'm going to tell you something. So the mind, maintaining that wall, it's not a permanent wall. It's like a spell that you have to cast over and over and over and over and over again. So you maintain...
So I'm out of mana is what you're saying.
All the time.
I'm fucking dude.
You're and you've got a res debuff and you're trying to live life like this because, like, no wonder you're exhausted because keeping that shit at bay, like, you realize how much of, like, that's like, it's like a burning hot sun of emotion. There's so much of it. Just think about how much your subconscious mind is, like, spending mana, like, keeping that shit at bay.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get that?
So how do I stop living life?
Yeah, great. So you got to actually deal with the feelings underneath, right? So you've got to actually cleanse. So I want you to think about the debuff is a pile of emotion that is just on your back. It's like baggage, like literally. Like you're not only out of you like have all this inventory space. Like you can't loot anything because all of your inventory is filled with this crap.
Question though, I have a question. Is it possible to just like re-roll and like play like a warrior? No mana.
No,
just rage.
No. No. I mean, whatever the resource is. I mean, so it's not
okay. All right.
I mean, re-rolling in theory, that's possible in some ways, but not beyond the scope of this conversation. We're not going to have you re-roll.
All right, no re-rolling. Okay,
because
I'm still a mage.
Yeah, we're not done with you yet, Mitch.
All right, sounds good.
So what you've got to do is actually like process that stuff, man. Mm-hmm. So like this is the thing where
but it's so painful to process that shit. Like I think you probably do get it. Like it's just so. It's so I like when I process those things, I'm broken as fuck. And if I'm trying to also stream at the same time, Twitch chat sees that I'm unstable and they feed off of it.
Yeah. So you can't fucking do this on Twitch chat.
Yeah, but like, how am I going to continue streaming while at the same time I'm leaking emotional baggage left and right?
No. So you don't want to. You don't want to leak emotional baggage left and right. You want to take some time and effort and take time out of your day, right? So this is where we learn some work-life balance. Where you've got to start like cleansing those debuffs and cleaning out that inventory space, and drinking your crystal water or whatever to get your mana back. Like you've got.
I do that, dude. I swear, without my regimens of like my weird health regimens, I'd be fucked just because of the amount of like shit that like dude, I have these weird ass regimens where I drink like veggie juice every day. I drink these massive smoothies of just like massive amounts of vegetables. Like I swear, if I was eating a trash diet and living, I would be fucking dead. I promise.
Yeah. So this is how you're able to function. So let's just think about this. You can down the raid boss because you have the res debuff. But then you also have like all these food buffs, and then like you've got people who are brewing you potions, and then you get like, arcane intellect and like all that other crap. So like you're buffing yourself every day, and if you stop, but like this is the thing, that's just a fucking hard way to live life, Mitch. Like you get that, like you can't live a normal life because you have to do all of these things like veggie juices and stuff because you have this gigantic pile of shit on your back.
Yeah, that's like my mana pots, and like without them, those are like my mana pots.
You're like chain chugging and like you're buffing yourself to be like functional.
Yeah.
Right, but like the problem here, the root of the problem is that we have to deal with that negative emotion. We've got to digest and metabolize that and free you of that.
But there's so many different, like the negative emotion is almost consuming to where I truly have a negative outlook on the world. Like I truly believe that like people, especially on Twitch, like the friends I made here, etc. I don't trust like hardly any of them.
Yeah, so each of these things has to be dealt with, right? So the first one, there's one that I've been trying to hammer into you over and over and over again today. The first of your cognitive biases that needs to be addressed. Do you know what it is?
Yeah, the res sickness, right?
No. Yeah, so that's more of a deeper sense, but there's a subtle cognitive bias. So I keep on talking about black and white thinking.
Okay, so that's what I need to work on, is my black and white thinking?
You need to work on a lot of stuff, but yeah. So like the first thing is that the world isn't black and white, right? Like it's not...
I truly believe it is. I believe that
I know you do.
Yeah, like I truly think of the world as like, it's just bad, and then there's some good, and it's just like, most people are just selfish and out for themselves. It's just the way I view life, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that's got to. So Mitch, this is going to take time, okay? But I think that there's a lot here. There's the sense of failure, so that needs to be addressed. There's just the fact that you view things in black and white, and that's a real problem because that prevents that walls off your solution space. As long as you see the world as black and white, and as long as you blame yourself, for example, which I think you've made some progress on. Do you see that? Do you feel like you're...
I do. Yeah, I do see that, yeah.
What's different between now and when we started talking in terms of your self-blame?
Well, I can recognize it better.
Very good. Has anything else changed?
No, I'll probably still blame myself for a lot of shit that I shouldn't, but I definitely will recognize I'm doing that, but I don't know if that matters. Being self-aware is something that I've always like had a, like, I wouldn't say a gift, but I've always been self-aware, if I could say that. Like I've always known.
So I want you to listen. I want you to listen to this. How do I fucking stop this? Okay. Okay. So you just said a statement. I blame myself for a lot of stuff that I shouldn't.
Yes.
Think about that for a second.
But I also blame myself for a lot of things that I should as well.
Yeah. But so don't just jump off the thought. Think about the thought. I blame myself for a lot of stuff that I shouldn't. That sentence sounds weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea what I think is weird about it?
Honestly, I don't. I think that...
I think if you recognize that you shouldn't blame yourself for it, that's a huge step forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because at the beginning, it was, like you just said, your mind tried to go there, right? And I blame myself for a lot of stuff that I should, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind very quickly goes to things like, because you're comfortable with blaming yourself. But the fact that you can say, I blame myself for a lot of stuff that I shouldn't is actually huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do blame yourself. And now you're able to see that you are actually not very kind to yourself. That what you really should do is cut yourself a little bit more slack. Right? I'm not asking you to absolve yourself of all responsibility. Mm-hmm. But can we agree that you should cut yourself like a little bit more slack?
Yeah, we can do that.
How does that feel to you?
Feels like it's going to be difficult to start, but once I implement the changes and if I can do them consistently, it could have a big impact on me.
Wrong. That also is future. Wrong. It's future-oriented thinking. If I can be consistent, if I can do this, then one day I will be the way that I want to be. Like, do you see that? It's all like future-oriented, consistent. You're setting yourself up for failure. Mm-hmm. Right there. The goal is not to be forgiving towards yourself tomorrow and the next day and the next day and every day, because that's where your mind jumps to. The goal is to forgive yourself and be kind to yourself when?
Right now.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
In the moment, right now, forgiving myself.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about just doing something in the moment and not worrying about tomorrow?
I feel as though that's a recipe for disaster.
Very good. So that also we need to change. Right? Because tomorrow is just now. There's no thing except for the now.
Yes, true. In the moment is all we have, right?
It's all we have. And so now I'm going to ask you again, if you can get good at doing something in the moment, what does that mean for your future?
I don't know. That's a tough question.
Good. So think about it. Right? So now we're getting somewhere. So we got to reshape the way that you view the world and the way that you view yourself and your perception of time and all this good shit. But this is what I want you... Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I just, I agree with that heavily. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to start by having you, so like how are you, like, we got to teach you how to be nice to yourself, like now, not tomorrow, not consistently, not for the rest of your life.
Just right now.
Just right now. Can you do that?
I mean, sure, I can try. I can definitely try to do that.
What is being nice to yourself? What the fuck does that even mean? How do you do that? Help me out.
Having a good spank? I don't know. I don't know. Doing something you enjoy to do, like, right?
Actually, that's not what I'm looking for. So I think when you do something that you enjoy doing, that is actually going to step away from the emotions, right? It's going to help you step outside
that's a
of them.
distraction.
Very
Okay.
good.
So that's a distraction.
A good spank is just going to be a distraction. And
Okay.
like for
So
those
that's
of
a
you who know, like
distraction from the
sometimes you're
overall
feeling
goal.
down and hurt on the inside, and then you have yourself a good wink, and then as soon as you're done, what happens to the feelings of loneliness and dejection?
They're just still there.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So that we don't want to do a good spank. That's not what we're looking for.
True. Okay.
Okay? So good. So we're
No
making
spanks.
Okay.
All right.
So what I want you to do is try to be okay. I'm just going to think about how to say this.
So if there's no distractions, because you said, what do you do to reward yourself? Or...
Not reward. When you're beating yourself up, when you're beating yourself up?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I want you to imagine what your mom would say to you.
You know, I honestly don't know anymore, man. Like I've lost that. I've lost that.
No, you haven't. I think you know what she'd say. You fucked up before. What did she say to you when you fucked up? What did she say to you when you showed up naked in your car, ready for school?
She would just say that, she would just say it in the nicest way possible, most loving way possible about, how to go forward, right? Like she would just be like...
And that's what you need to do for yourself. Because that's the fucking exact opposite of what you do to yourself. Because you don't say to yourself in the nicest possible way how to move forward. You do the exact fucking opposite. You call yourself a fucking asshole. And you blame yourself.
Yeah. I do.
That's what you need to learn how to do in the moment. In the nicest way possible. In the most loving and patient way possible. Encourage yourself to move forward. Because here's the amazing thing about that. Your mom never asked you to be consistent about wearing clothes for the rest of your life, right?
No,
she didn't care about that. What did she care about?
She just cared about that moment.
Absolutely.
And helping me understand that moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? She didn't say, oh, and you've got to get dressed every day for the rest of your life. No. She was like, how can we just get some fucking clothes on you for now?
Yeah, for right now, just to go to school. Yep. Yeah.
And that's what's got to change. And the thing is, Mitch, she's helping you out way more than you even realize. You just have to let yourself be helped by her.
Right now?
Yeah, so I think she's taught you what you need to do for yourself. You just haven't learned it.
That's, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Man, I've been distracting myself for so long,
Very good. No wonder you haven't been getting better.
Yeah, but there was 1 year where I stopped distracting myself and really looked inside myself, and you don't understand, I don't mean to make it seem bigger than anyone else's problems, but it just, to me, it was it was very difficult,
Oh, I completely
very
agree.
difficult.
So
yeah,
Mitch,
every day was hard, man. I don't know. I was definitely getting somewhere with healing myself for sure, but it almost felt like to do that, I have to go through hell to get to the other side,
Yeah, so I think the big mistake you're making, the big strategic mistake you're making is that you spent a year trying to fix yourself, and who was helping you?
No one. It was just me.
That's the problem.
I was alone that whole year, and I liked it. I liked it.
So you can like it, but let me tell you something. When it comes to problems of this magnitude, you need help. You can do it on your own, and I agree with you. It'll take years.
But the thing is, Dr. K, let me explain to you another recurring problem I have, okay? So I understand what you're saying, and I understand exactly that is true. I do need help, but another issue that I do have is I will find these people in my life that will paint themselves as the perfect help for me, right? And instead of actually giving a shit about trying to help me, it will almost always be them being selfish and trying to get something from me. And I always feel betrayed afterwards. And it makes me literally feel like humans fucking suck. And I just fucking give up. You understand? Like, I have had a fucking issue with like trusting people that paint themselves as this almighty savior for me. And like, it just fucks me time and time again. Like it's an issue I have because I always look for the easy way out, right? And when somebody paints you the picture of the easy way out, it's almost like, hell yeah, let's do it, you know? And I fall for this every time, Dr. K, every single time.
Yeah, so I think you're doing the first step right, which is that so it was interesting. I wish you could hear things through my ears. Because
Yes.
I see so many solutions to that problem in the way that you describe it. Because you recognize that there's a part of you that always looks for the easy way out. And
and I latch on to like other people.
So now we get back to the you don't understand what's going on in your mind, right? So there are forces and influences that despite this happening time and time and time again, someone offers you salvation and the easy road out, and there is something within you that is just so fucking hungry for it that you can't help yourself.
I really can't. That's very true. And even if I'm super aware that it could be a negative situation, I still am like, fuck it, like maybe this will work. It's like one of those like get rich quick schemes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So then I don't think you're fully aware, because that fuck it, maybe this will work is once again something within you that is hungry that I don't think you fully understand.
Okay.
Because so this is the thing, you're not dumb, but you keep on making this mistake. So in my overwhelming
it's like a self-repeating prophecy.
Yes, I'll send you a paper called The Repetition Compulsion, very well characterized within the field of psychology and psychiatry, okay? So that people basically repeat something over and over and over again, despite the fact that it's dumb, because there's like a powerful psychological driver. The more stupid your behaviors are, Mitch, I want you to understand this, the more powerful the psychological tugs are. Does that make sense? Because in order to get you to do something dumb over and over and over again, there has to be something really, really strong within you that's pushing you to do that thing.
That's fair.
Right?
That makes sense.
Instead of blaming yourself, I think what you need to understand is that you have some gigantic things within you. Mm-hmm. And those things are driving you to repeat behaviors over and over and over again that kind of screw you over. And then what happens is like you're so busy like judging yourself for fucking it up again that you never stop and are like curious about why you did this in the first place. Mm-hmm. And when you are curious, because you are curious from time to time, you take time and you reflect on things. It's clear to me that you're very intelligent and you reflect a lot, which is awesome. You just need some.
But is it also bad to reflect too much? Is that bad?
No,
it's not bad.
Not if you're reflecting properly. Now, sometimes people will get into thought loops which are unproductive. So they'll think the same thing over and over and over again, and they'll think that is reflection. That is not reflection. Mm-hmm. But
yeah,
Mitch,
I've been calling those mental loops before.
Yeah. So I think generally speaking, I mean, I don't think you can reflect too much if you're really doing productive reflection. I think you just understand more and more about yourself, and eventually you become enlightened.
Yes.
So, but in your case, Mitch,
enlightenment would be great. Oh my god, to feel not heavy every day would be fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like, so actually. That starts. So enlightenment is you can do it now. So just close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Okay, closing my eyes. Wait, can I pee first?
Yeah, go pee.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, we're gonna take a bathroom break, and then let me see if I can. I gotta get more tea. Okay. Also, guys, is this is the final boss? Is that? Okay, hold on. Mitch is gonna be. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna do okay. Like, we just need some time with him. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick ad break.
I've been trying to not read chat so much, just to have a genuine experience. That's also why I didn't want to stream on my channel as well, because I know that I get carried away with like, you know, chat and stuff. I'm trying to just really take this serious and you know what I mean. So I think that's the best plan of action.
you feeling, Mitch?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, I'm feeling like
What do you mean by
I'm
good?
starting to understand some things more so than I did. And I feel as though, I feel as though, I'm almost like locked. Like I'm like hard stuck, and like I need to fix that.
Yep, we're gonna do it.
That's what I've gone to.
Yeah. So you gotta once again be careful because you can't fix it. You're not gonna fix it. Okay. You're just gonna do different today.
Okay.
What's the difference?
The difference is right now, in the moment, I'm gonna try to work on the things that you've said and not beat myself up as much. And there was something else.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it was not blame myself as much and try and work on it now and put my clothes on and go to school.
Beautiful.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, and then we're gonna teach you how to meditate. So you have some experience in meditation?
Oh yeah. And quite frankly, when I meditate, I truly feel as though like it's almost like a negative experience for me. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like
yeah, tell me about it.
If I meditate before sleep, I almost always have nightmares. Meditation for me, I've like cried, and it brings out a lot of pain. Is all I'm trying to say. It's like when I'm just there alone in my thoughts, even when I try and tell my thoughts to shut up, like it's for some reason emotion comes out instead. It's so hard to explain. I don't know.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, well then maybe it's not hard to explain.
No. Yeah. So I'm going to teach you a different kind of meditation technique that is not going to quite have the same effect. I think it'll be more pleasant for you. But I think what's happening in your case is anytime you try to meditate, what essentially happens is you stop casting your wall spells, and so the shit comes flooding out. So oftentimes in meditation, whatever is buried comes up.
Okay.
Because you're like unraveling your mind.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is you got to sit up straight.
All right.
So you got to fix your posture. Yeah. So what kind of chair do you have?
I don't know, some type of wheelchair thingy. It's got like wheels on it. It's like a
Okay. So this is
like a computer chair, a shitty one. Yeah,
okay.
Shitty computer chair.
Okay. So what I want you to do is you're like leaning back.
Yeah.
Don't lean back. So sit up straight and you have pillows or blankets behind you?
Yeah.
Can you go get I want you to sit on something. Sit like with your
sit on something?
Yeah, like I want you to take like a pillow and put it on your chair and then sit on that.
Okay.
Yeah, Mitch, I really want to help you get your shit together, man. You're gonna.
Wait, what happened?
I'm just feeling good about you. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So now
I did
want
something wrong.
No. You're doing great. So now close your eyes. Now, do you notice a difference once you're sitting on the pillow with your back?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What do you notice is different?
Well, I don't feel as heavy, I guess.
Okay. Lighter?
My back feels it feels easier to sit.
Yeah, good. Now I want you to fold the pillow in half and then sit on that. So fold it on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh. All right.
Now how do you feel?
I feel very erect now.
Good. Right? So close your eyes and just feel yourself.
Okay.
You were contracted before. You're all compounded and like weighed down on yourself. You feel that?
Yeah, I do.
Eyes closed.
Okay.
Now how do you feel?
I feel a little lighter. I feel as though it's easier to sit, it's easier. I feel good. Breathing is better, easier. Yeah.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Yeah, it's really strange.
So just sit with that lightness for a second. Just sit with that. Just sit with the way you feel. Right? This is you. You're not so bad.
I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so notice those thoughts of you being, and you started to slouch again, so no slouching.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Slouching.
Just maintain your posture. And then, you know, it's okay for thoughts to be self-judgmental. It's okay for you to think that you're bad and that you're broken and you're never going to get better. And just notice those things and then return to the sensation of your body. Right? That all that stuff is kind of there, but that stuff too can kind of be walled off if you want it to. And it's not so much that you're walling it off, it's just that you're not letting it take center stage. We're going to let it exist in our mind. It's just going to be off to the side a little bit. And we're going to see, look at the way you're breathing. Beautiful. You feel that? Just, yeah, breathe, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay.
Okay. What is that? What just happened?
I don't know. I just felt weird. I'm good now. I'm good.
What was that sensation? Tell me.
I don't know. It's like I wanted to like be happy, but then I stopped myself from being happy because I can't do that right now because I don't even fucking know what it was. I don't know.
Very good. Good. Right? So just think about that. When was the last time you wanted to be happy like that? When was the last time you felt the buoyancy? What you felt right there was buoyancy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I feel uncomfortable feeling that way.
Absolutely. That's your fucking problem, man. In a nutshell.
Okay. All right.
We got to help you be buoyant when you feel naturally like being buoyant. Eyes closed.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You felt that buoyancy? It's just a spark of it and you knock it down.
Yeah, I immediately I didn't want that feeling, yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird, right? Because that feeling is nice.
It is nice. It's why the fuck don't I want those? I don't want that.
Yeah.
Why?
So, because you don't think you deserve it.
Really?
What do you think?
I don't know. It's like a subconscious thing with me. Whenever I start feeling some type of way or I'm about to smile, I immediately stop myself.
Okay, so we'll dig into that. But for now, we're gonna it's good. So if you had a a feeling of buoyancy, we're gonna start to train you to like be able to just sit with that feeling the next time it comes up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have to suppress it, that's okay. But just notice that you're suppressing it. Okay, and don't judge yourself for it. Good. Now, how do you feel? Tell me what you feel, actually.
I feel looser.
Good.
Yeah, I feel loose.
Okay, so now we're going to begin the practice, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to teach you something called Om chanting. And this is going to be hard.
Oh, yeah, I know what this is. This hits the heart chakra, right?
Depends.
You can, whichever Om you do could hit different chakras, right?
Yep, yeah. So we're going to do Om chanting. And I'm glad you have some experience with it because I literally don't know if I can chant, but I think that's what you need right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to demonstrate one round. Neck up straight. Oh, why do you do this? Yeah, don't. You have this weird thing where you tilt to the side.
Yeah, I have a posture issue.
Yeah, okay. So we got to get you to a yoga class. Okay, so I'm going to chant Om. It's composed... I'm going to try to chant Om. It's composed of 3 syllables. Ah, oo, and And I'm going to do it over the course of one breath, okay? So we're going to start with ah, and then we're going to go into oo, and then end with I'll demonstrate once, you just listen, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to just listen to me for a second, okay? You got the hang of it? You think you can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I want you to focus on meditation. I mean, chanting is not about sound, so it's not about your ears, it's about vibration. So I want you to feel the sounds in your body, and you guys at home should do this as well, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So ready? So deep breath in. Let's chant together, okay? Okay. Bigger mouth, more energy. Let me hear you do it again. There we go. Okay, so your lips are not parting very much, so I want a big mouth, all the way open. Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay. Hold up. I'm getting coughed up. Okay.
Good.
See, now I'm actually feeling anxiety for some reason.
That's okay. It's because it's fucking
Okay.
weird what we're doing. Anxiety is completely natural. Big deep breath. One more. Okay, 3 more breaths. Let me hear you do it.
3 more?
Yep. Beautiful. 2 more. Okay, last one. Good. Now just sit and feel your body. Do you feel the after image of vibration?
Oh yeah.
Good. Just
Yeah,
sit
my
with
lips
that.
feel all. Yeah.
Focus on the chest, the belly.
Yeah, that's where I feel the anxiety.
Good. Notice it.
Yeah, it's strange. It's almost like it's just I feel tighter and like it's like coming out or something.
Yep. So in the post-meditative period, the anxiety feels greater?
No, I feel okay. I can just feel that there's something that wants to express itself and I'm suppressing it still. That's how I feel.
So we're going to chant 3 more times, and I want you to really open your mouth and make an O for that first sound, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
With your next 2 breaths, let whatever it is that's in there, let it out. Beautiful.
You see, like my heart's racing now. It's weird.
Yep. Last one.
Okay.
You can do it. I'm with you.
Okay, hold up.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Okay. All right. I feel very different.
How do you feel?
Like I just woke up. Yeah. I feel I feel like it's easier to breathe a bit. It's just strange because like during that process I felt like chest pressure and I felt as though like I can't explain it. I just felt anxiety, which
Yep.
I've been good at suppressing it. I'm very good at dealing with my anxiety, and yeah, I feel like
So I don't
that.
I
Yeah,
don't think
go
that
ahead,
this means
sorry.
your anxiety is coming back. I just think that, remember how I was saying that something within you was manifesting as anxiety, and now it has
Yeah.
gone dormant or manifested in other ways.
Mhm.
And I think as you let that stuff out, it's manifesting in some ways as like anxiety again. But that'll pass
Okay.
over time, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I were to practice more often, I could really make headway on expressing these things subconsciously, right?
Can't practice more often.
Oh, I can't do it more often?
Nope, you can only do it today.
Okay, only today.
And then you can do it tomorrow once tomorrow becomes today. But more often
Okay.
is of the future. Do you see
So
that?
just thinking the now,
Yep. And
Okay.
and be careful. So Mitch, I think you've got so just a couple of things. So there are case reports of meditation induced psychosis. So if the
Oh,
feelings of like if the feelings become dangerous or scary or things like that, you don't have to meditate. I'm very surprised that you had this reaction, because generally speaking, people don't have this reaction with chanting. So
oh, yeah.
more
I felt like rage during. It was more like anger, just like expressing itself in a way I couldn't quite understand.
Yeah, man. So, dude, yeah, you're like, so it's not going to take you years to get better. You just have to keep working at it. Okay. Because what is within you wants to come out so fucking bad. And once it's out, it's going to be out. Like, you've just suppressed so much. It's like it's like leaking from the seams.
Oh yeah, man. Sometimes I just randomly cry. I don't even know why. I just start
Yeah.
crying.
So we just got to so we need to give your brain and your body a time and space to let some of that
Yeah.
emotion out. And once your body gets used to that, it's going to be like almost like a dog that gets trained to like pee in a particular place. So I would highly, highly recommend that you see a therapist, because I think that'll
Okay.
accelerate this process. And it's good that you're meditating and all this other stuff, because
Well, right now, wait, therapy's pretty expensive, yeah?
yeah. So do you have insurance?
No, I have no insurance. Like pretty much what I have to do is just I need to stream and make some money, and then I can possibly think about doing that. But I have a lot of like I said, I gambled myself into a financial hole where I probably can't do that right now.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So okay, so we'll let me just think about that for a second, because I think you could really benefit from therapy.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, I think continue drinking your veggie juices and stuff like that. How are your bowel movements?
Well, it depends on my sleep schedule, but if my sleep schedule is consistent, I shit very well. Yeah, I
Okay.
got some good shits.
Okay, good. So another
Yeah,
thing.
my shits are always blueberry color because I eat a lot of blueberries.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about today?
I'm all right, you know. I mean, I know I was. I'm good. I'm feeling good about today. I'm a little bit still hungover from 2 days ago, but other than that, I'm good. You know, I drank a lot 2 days ago. I don't even know why I did. I never drink either, but I was with my buddy and I just decided to get hammered for some reason, and that never goes well with me. I don't know why. Drinking and
Okay,
me just don't really mix well.
sure.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, do you think that? So you were nervous when we started. How did you think? We've been talking now for almost 2 hours. So
Yeah.
how do you feel like this went? Like, were you comfortable with what we talked about today?
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel as though it went good. I feel as though we definitely got somewhere 100%. I
Help me
yeah,
understand that. Where did we get?
I think you understand me a little more and I think I understand myself a little more and I think that's what we did today.
What do you understand about yourself?
That I'm always looking forward or back and I'm never really like just in the now trying to accept responsibility for what's going on right now. And instead, I'm always living in somewhere else than right now and then I beat myself up over something that either happened in the past or I think will happen in the future, and instead of doing that I just need to live in right now and do what I can to heal or get better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't realize we talked about that, but it seems like that's new, right? Chat?
Yeah, that's just how I feel though. I feel as though that was like what I learned, you know?
Okay. Yeah, no, I think you've learned a lot. It's just news to me. Because I think you really tied things together. I think you tied together a lot of the stuff that I thought we had covered some ground, and I think you really tied it together beautifully. Yeah. So so I think, we talked a little bit about regret and things like that as well. And I think regret is about the past, anxiety is about the future. And I do believe, Mitch, that, I can understand why you think that you're unfixable or you're so broken, because you've lived a long time being the same level of broken.
Yes.
So it can logically, you can conclude that this is never going to get better, but I don't think that that's the case. I think you're going to get better. I think if you work at it and you try to channel, so I want you to really think about this too. I don't mean to make things emotional or stuff like that right before we stop, but I want you to think about what your mom would tell you when you're feeling down on yourself. Because I think she's already taught you like the kind of dialogue, like the way that you need to treat yourself is the way that she treated you.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why. Whenever you mention my mom, I get fucking sad. It's like I get this like feeling in my nose like I have to sneeze. It's weird.
Yeah, because you have pent up emotion about your mom. And I also think, Anyway, we can talk more, but I really think that she did just an amazing job of treating you with unconditional love, and that's actually something you need to learn how to do for yourself.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about like why something isn't healing, it's because you, like, generally speaking, unconditional love goes a long way at clearing res debuffs. And if you haven't,
I've never felt that with anyone else. I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah,
especially with the res debuff, it's hard to like love and receive love.
It absolutely. I'm not. It's very difficult, and it's absolutely possible. And even though I know you feel like you're old, and by Twitch standards, you may be the old man of Twitch. But 27 is not that old. I mean, there's still a lot of life left to live. There's a lot of opportunity for love and relationships. You ever going to have the same relationship that you did with your mom? No. But doesn't mean that you can't have relationships that are in the same ballpark and can still be wonderful. And can be filled with unconditional love too.
Yeah.
Thoughts or questions before we wrap up for the day?
I don't know. Yeah, I need a second. Hold up. Okay. Questions. Nah, man. I'm Mitch Jones. We're good, bro. I'm good. Everything's good.
Okay, good. It's nice to see you smile. Is it a genuine smile?
Yeah, we're chilling, man. I'll be all right.
Are you not all right now?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm just fucking. I don't know. Like when you talk about love, I don't know, man. It's like I think about love and like people, and I truly, I don't feel that way. Like I don't know, man.
Something weird just happened. You were in a way better place like 60 seconds ago. So sorry for disrupting your.
No, it's cool. No, it's totally cool. It's not your fault. It's me. It's like you just made me think about love and my mom and how she unconditionally loved me, and then I realized that the world will never be that way again for me. I just had a moment of thinking like, I don't think I'll ever find that again. I have a lot of hate inside of me, and like it's like coming out right now, and I apologize.
No, don't apologize. I think I think that's why I was a little bit hesitant, because I think it is somewhat of an open wound for you for me to bring it up, but I really I really do believe that you should learn how to talk to yourself the way that she talked to you. And I think that'll help you. When we talk about, what can you do in the moment, that is like the best example I can think of.
Yeah. And I honestly think I'm subconsciously recasting that spell again, like right now. Yep. Like it was almost like gone for half a second, and then it's just like I felt vulnerable, and then I just put it back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like when you said this weird, like I didn't understand what the fuck you were saying. You said, "Yeah, man, I'm Mitch Jones. We good." I was like, "What?" Just that was you recasting the spell.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was me putting the mask back on. Like everything's fine, Like no.
So notice that like things were actually fine before that.
Yeah.
And then things became like bad again, and then you put on the mask. But actually, I would say 5 minutes ago, you actually felt pretty good.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I felt, yeah.
And now you can go back there. I can see you going back there a little bit. So just notice your posture again.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Right, so now you're actually on the path to being good again. Yeah?
Yeah.
Really,
okay.
or not? Or not really?
No. I totally am. I just know that
that
I'm gonna leak.
That's
leaker,
okay. That's okay. You leak. But I want you to just notice how easy it is to move between the two. Easy come, easy go. Right?
Yeah, and anytime you can do that. You can just be like, all right, like I'm gonna get back to this place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the goal of meditation. To cultivate within yourself the capacity to go back to this place. And suddenly, if you're in this place, the world is not so heavy.
True. That's good.
There we go. Okay. Strong work today, Mitch.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, very nervous and I just didn't understand what we were gonna do, but I feel like we did a lot, and I didn't. Yeah, we did a lot for sure. I think I don't know if you would like to speak again, but I believe there's so much, man. I would just love to tell you my whole story, man. Like, I don't know. Okay. I got lots of stuff that I could lots of stuff inside of me that I would love to just get off my chest, you know?
Sure. So let's set up let's set up another time. Sorry, my voice is really going out. But Mitch, look, I think you did a fantastic job today. Really strong work, and I'm really I think you're deserving of respect for what you've accomplished.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I hardly ever hear that, and that means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, because I think that just because you've been living life with a res debuff, like that's actually pretty fucking amazing that you're able to do anything at all. And I think that
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So good luck with everything, dude. And we'll set up another time to talk, okay?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Okay, take care. Bye.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Okay. So, he's a good guy, man. He's like, listen, guys. So I've talked to a couple people now, like on Twitch, who feel like they're unfixable. So this is probably just because I'm naive and optimistic, but like, I just don't think that's the case, man. He's like, he can get so much better so fast. And it's, I know that it can feel really hopeless, like, because, and it's not that it's logical, right? That's the really crazy thing, is that it's logical. Because if you have felt the same way for like a decade, he started feeling bad, he said, around 2011 or 1 or something like that, like something that happened with Twitch a couple years ago. But, I think it started with him, something changed, like something got busted when his mom was diagnosed with cancer. And then for the next 10 years, if you're a smart guy like Mitch is, you're gonna think that like this is not repairable because for 10 years it hasn't gotten fixed. So it's completely logical. And it happens to be wrong. So if you guys are feeling hopeless about life, it's not that you're stupid. It's you're actually like, you're smart and logical too. It's that because you don't see your life moving forward, so you're a smart person, you're gonna conclude that it's not gonna move forward. But I just don't accept that, because I think that life can be drastically different very quickly. In terms of getting help from people, in terms of just one person entering your life, in terms of learning how to meditate, in terms of learning how to take care of yourself, getting a pet. Like, I don't know what it is, but life can become so drastically different with such a subtle and what seems like a small change, like one person entering your life. So in my case, I was directionless and hopeless and failing out of college and playing too many video games and stuff like that. And then like I met one of my teachers in India, which just like blew my mind. It changed my life completely. And I felt like there was someone who understood me and could teach me how to understand myself. And then it's like life is hard when you're blind. Like, it's hard to drive a car if you can't see. but you would be amazed at what you're capable of if you just take the blindfold off, right? And then it's like, wow, this shit, like, sight is OP. It's like the world is being navigated. Everyone is driving around is wearing a blindfold. And then there's some people who've discovered how to take off the blindfold. They're like, this shit's OP. Like, sight is so OP, man. It's like I can drive around wherever I want to and I don't have to bump into anything ever. And it seems so mind-blowingly different because that's just the way that we live. Like, we've lost touch with understanding who we are and how we function. Like, that part of knowledge, which was, I mean, I use yoga and that tradition because that's where I learned it. But there are traditions of, like, not just psychology, but yoga is about understanding yourself, right? So, like, how do you as a human being work? Like, what are the ways in which your mind works? What are the ways in which the food that you put into your body affects your mind? Why can't I do the things that I want to do? Like, what are the things that, if I think about the equation of behavior and engaging in a behavior, what are all the things that go into that equation? We don't know. We don't know. But you can learn, you can study, you can become aware, and progress can happen way faster than you realize. Like, the good news, guys, is that it doesn't actually take like a decade to, you know, start the path of like transforming your life. Sure, like a decade later, like you're going to be in a very different place and it takes time, right? So I started when I was 21, and then started med school when I was 27. So that was 6 years. And that was just starting med school. And then it took me another like 8 years to really become confident in who I am. So that was what, like 2018, 2017. So like a 16-year process for me. But it starts getting way better before. It's not like at the end of 16 years, you're like, oh, like now everything's like, it starts getting way better way before that. So start. I'm 37. Okay, so yeah, you guys who are 22 and you feel old as fuck, like, I don't think you guys get this. Like, you're going to be around for 60 more years, right? Like, if you're 22 and you feel old as fuck, imagine where you were 5 years ago. Like, gigantic, right? The difference between the 17-year-old you and a 22-year-old you is, like, huge. And so you just give yourself that amount of time. Like, that's so much time. 5 years is such a long time. And then you're just going to be 27. Like, you're not even going to, like, be 30 yet. So you have a lot of time, and it doesn't take that long to start getting on the right track again. And with Mitch, I'm hopeful. Like, I think, you know, I know he's supposed to be the raid boss and everything, but, like, dude, you know, helping someone who is so intelligent and reflective and tries so hard and has such vast reserves of willpower, like, and he wants to get better, like, dude, we're going to help him. He's going to get help, and he's going to be better. Like, he's going to do well. Anyway, so thank you guys very much for watching and showing up, and hopefully this was helpful to y'all as well. And yeah, it was fun for me. I enjoyed really talking to Mitch. I think he's a wonderful guy. And I have faith in him. I think he's going to do well because he's a fighter, man. He's a fighter. And if he's doing this well with this fucking gigantic res debuff, then imagine what he's capable of if we can cleanse that even a little bit. Like, he's going to do so well. Just, he needs time. He needs time.